Hey everyone, you guys on yet? So stoked for this. We're almost there, 7:30. It actually is 7:30 right now, but as we all know, there'll be people who'll be struggling getting on here on time, especially if you're from Utah. You know that we have issues being on time, right? We got something called Mormon Standard Time here. It's very, very different. But I'm so excited to share so many things with you guys, especially the shortcut to earning a six-figure income as a personal trainer. I mean, how many out of there would like to make some more money? And how would that feel if you guys did that? How would it feel if you got to help more people while you were making more money? Well, those are the kind of things I'll be sharing with you today. So I hope you guys are stoked as I am about this. We've worked so hard on this presentation, and the more people that get on, the better. And we're going to give people about 4 more minutes before we're going to get started. So make sure that you go out and you lock your dog away. The kids, they have the iPad. You close down Facebook, and you guys are ready to listen for this. Because I have been preparing for this, and I am so stoked. Again, we'll just give it 4 more minutes for people to lock on. We had so many people register at the last minute here. We ran some campaigns for it. We got people from all over the world actually who signed up for this, and which is super exciting. And that is the brilliant new World Wide Web that we have that can attract people from all the world and hear the message all in one place. I see we have some people on here from Utah as well. Welcome to you guys. You guys are all local. It's fun. More and more people are locking on as we're going here. Again, we'll give it a couple of more minutes. The things again we'll be focusing on today will be the 6 figures as a personal trainer or as a fitness professional. I've had plenty of other people on here that's been gym owners as well, CrossFit owners, different kind of trainers, but it's all the same principles that we're going to be going over today. So no matter where you're at in the fitness industry, there'll definitely be a lot of things that you'll be able to learn from today. But again, we'll give people a couple more minutes to be locking on here. But again, you know what the main thing that we will be pressing today, and we'll be go over and over and over again, is to give you guys some tools today. Give you some tools on how to better your business. Give you some tools on how to better yourself. Give you some tools on how to better your client situations. And that is really what's going to be exciting, and I know that you guys are going to benefit from. You see my smirk there in the front face already. I can see 2 of you guys out there right now. I'm not watching the screen. You guys just listening in. So I hope you guys will be able to move over and actually look at the screen now as we're just about to get started here in a couple of minutes. Because I will be sharing my screen with you guys, and I have a whole presentation in here as well, where you'll be able to see a lot of things. As we will get started. Actually, at the end here too, I have one of my mentoring clients who is almost at his 6-figure range if we keep going like this, and they'll be interviewing him at the end, so make sure you stay until the end if you want to hear from someone who's been through the process and who knows what it is. And it'll be a super fun thing for you guys also to be able to ask questions to me, be able to ask questions to that person who's here. I'll also have another surprise for you that we will be able to go over just in a couple of minutes. We'll give people 2 more minutes here, and then we will get started on the presentation. Again, my name is Nick Olson, and just excited to have all you guys attending this, and I really appreciate your time. And some of you might have followed me out there on social media, and recently I've moved over into, the Your Fitbit Mentor project, as I like to call it, and I'm so stoked for this project because I don't see anything out there like this, and that's really so much benefit is going to come from this. We'll give this 1 more minute here, and then we will get started. If you guys can see on this super cool GoToWebinar, there's actually a chat function. So as we're going along here, if you guys want to ask me any questions or anything, you guys have comments, you guys are super excited, you just want to share it, like, throw it in there. I would love to get some feedback. We'd love to hear what you guys, questions you guys might have, and that would be super cool if you guys want to participate in this a little bit. We're going to get started here in just 1 more minute. We'll give people just 1 more minute, and we will get started for you. I appreciate your patience that you have with this, as some people are registering in late, but more and more people are coming in. Again, we just got 1 more person in here that needs to look at the screen and not on Facebook anymore. There you go. Good job. Now we got you over as well. Okay, so we should get started now. Are you guys excited? Are you excited for this presentation? You guys started thinking about what you want to get out of it? I hope you do, because there are going to be so many cool things that we're going to be going over. The main thing that I want to go over with you in this thing here is, like this whole opening here says, some shortcuts into earning six figures. We all want to make six figures, right? I mean, I know I did when I started out as a trainer. So really, that promise, that is something that's real. I've gotten a lot of questions. Actually, today we had a little chat with someone who commented on one of the stories we had out there. Like, yeah, six figures, we are right. I'm like, how can people even question that if you can't make six figures as a fitness professional? I mean, it's almost impossible not to if you run your business correctly. And so it is very, very doable and very possible, very, very fast, being able to build up a business where you can make those six figures that I know that all of you out there actually want to make. And so a shortcut, yes. And why do I call it a shortcut? Well, mainly because there are so many things that I had to learn in this process about the business, and so many mistakes I had to make, and that's really something that you don't have to. And so as we come along here, as you can hear, I'm not going to be a perfect speaker. I'm not going to be a perfect presenter. I'm going to say some ums and all those things. You guys just going to have to bear with me here as we walk through this. So my promise that I'm going to make to all of you today that are on this call, I'll promise you by the end of this webinar, you will have enough knowledge so that you will be able to go in and you will at least increase your business with 30%. Now, if you're someone who's just getting started, you will be able to at least make a dent in knowledge of knowing exactly what you're going to do. But if you already have a business, I promise you by the end, just the little things that I'll be sharing with you guys, you will be able to make those 30% more in your business. Just some small tweaks. It's business. Like, I'm in this for the passion, but it's also business. And that is one mistake that I see people make over and over again, is that they don't treat this as a business, they treat it as a hobby. So I will teach you some things today, some small tweaks that will be able to at least increase it with 30%. That's exciting, right? Like, how would that feel today if you knew that by the end of this year you'd be making 30% more? Pretty exciting, right? I know I'm excited. So another thing I want to tell you as well, if you guys hang on to the end of this webinar, I will be giving away my book for free. So it's a $47 value, and this book was 5 years in the making, okay? It took me so long to get this done, but you know what? When I finally decided to actually write it and not just have it outlined and structured and actually finish it took me a month, and the whole thing was done. And I actually really love this book. It's a great introduction on how to start out as a personal trainer or how to increase your business as a personal trainer. So it's huge value. And all you have to do is just stay until the end. So you just have to listen to my voice for a little bit and go over all these things, learn all these things, and then there's a benefit at the end. There's nothing at the end too. And that is that my mentoring client, Ron, is going to be here as well. And we're going to ask him some questions about what it is that he went through and how he looks at the process and where he's at now. So you'll be able to hear a story from Ron, and you'll be able to get my book for free. That's exciting, right? Yeah, I am excited about that book. I know the feedback I've gotten so far from people is amazing. Just the fact that I've been able to make a little bit of impact in some people's business and by reading the book has been incredible for me. So just the feedback that I've been getting has been really, really good. So let's just keep going with this. But now stay until the end. Okay, there's a lot of things in here. So there's some things here that you'll learn from the book, and here's a buildup of things. One of the big things that is down here in the left corner, as you can see, is how to close any consultation. And that is really a big one, right? Most people are really good at social media marketing, getting people in, but how do we actually get somebody to sign up? And it doesn't matter if it's for memberships or it's for personal training or it's a group training or whatever kind of trainer you are. Those kind of things are just important, is knowing how to get people in the door, but also how do you close them and how do you turn that into business? That is something that we'll go over in the book. There's anything from social media to strategy about how to setting things up, into how to connecting with your clients. There's lots of life coaching skills that you'll be learning from this as well. I've been a life coach for many years, and what I've found success with and why I have so much success in my business is described in this book. My process described in this book. It is super exciting, and I know you will be excited too when you read it. Let's talk a little bit about me. Yeah, not very long, but I will show you a few things. Who am I, right? I was born in Denmark, but before that, actually, I want to go over this slide right here. I want to go back one slide before that because I want to show you how I got here. Now, if you look at this picture here, and especially the one me at 20 years old, 235 pounds, right? That is kind of depressing that that's the only picture I have of me being overweight. But in that picture, I actually weighed 235 pounds. I weighed 235 pounds after that, but that was muscle and not the fat person and teenager I was in that picture, or I guess I was just out of the teens. But that's the only picture I have. And people are like, well, you know, if you've been overweight, then why don't you have more pictures? Honestly, I burned more of them where I had poked out my head. And so when I went to before Facebook and cell phones, and that's how old I am, go back to that, right? Then I didn't have pictures. All we had was just pictures of my mom's family album that I picked out, and I just cut my own head off because I didn't like it. So where do I come from? Well, I'm from Denmark. I've been here in America for 10 years now. My background, a little bit, you know, I grew up in a very poor and unhealthy family. And right now I got an uncle who is in the hospital dying from diabetes. I got an aunt who has a brain aneurysm, and most of those things are health related. I got 2 uncles so far died from obesity, and both grandpas that I have, they both died from alcohol poisoning. So if you look at where I come from, you know, and where I'm at and where my passion is coming from, a lot of these things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, it comes from a pure place of just passion because I've been there, I've done that. I was so overweight, I drank a lot, I had a very unhealthy lifestyle back when I was 20 years old, right? 10 years later, you look at that, I actually really like that picture. That was one of the first modeling pictures I was taken of me. But those 10 years, what that can do, right? And it's not just about the pounds, but what you got to look at with this picture, and this is not to flash a six-pack in any way. What you got to look at here is just a difference in mindset. And that's what I see when I look at these pictures. The difference between those 2 people is all about mindset. I had to choose in that picture how to live. I had to choose in that picture, choosing to live a good life. I was in such a destructive behavior that I really just had to change everything, and that was a choice. So I am so proud of that picture, and again, it's not because of the six-pack, but that picture just resembles to me the change that I made over 10 years. The change in habits, the change in life. I mean, how exciting for you would it be for you, for either yourself or for one of your clients, to be able to make this kind of a transformation? Isn't that exciting? Those are the things I'll be sharing with you about how to do this, how to connect with people. A lot of these things are emotional, but you know, when you've been obese and you've been suicidal in the depth of hell, right? Then there are just certain things that you've learned, and those are some of the things I want to share with you guys. And fitness really saved my life. It really did. Like going into the gym and doing little things in there and building up the empowerment and building up self-love again, being able to see what I could do. Like that was huge for me. It saved my life back then. It gave me passion back. It gave me confidence back. I started working in a corporate setting like I put on here, as you can see on the slide, and things were just going so well for me after I started in the gym. I lost all my weight in under 3 months, okay? Under 3 months. And that was all by me making a freaking choice in my life and actually start doing things about it and taking accountability and ownership. And that's really what this is all about. Take accountability, take ownership, take action. Massive, massive action in these things. I've restarted my life 3 times, okay? 3 times I've restarted my life for different reasons. Anything from divorce to moving to a different country. I've had to restart my life 3 times, and with that, you know, comes a lot of massive action that you have to take. All the things that I did to save my own life is also what I've catapulted into my business, and that way, you know, I've made a lot of strides in that because there's the same kind of mindset in anything. You know, I got certified as a life coach back when I worked in a corporate setting for the reason that I love studying human behavior. I love studying habits. Those are the things that I'm a geek about. Like if you ask me what I do on a Friday night, sometimes I'll sit there and listen to a book about this stuff because I love it. I'm also certified as a personal trainer now. You know, back when I had to make some change in my life when I came here to America after 10 years, was I had to make some changes. And I'm like, I have a message, right? I changed my life through this stuff. I want to go out there and I want to be able to change other people's lives too. How am I going to do that? So if we're going to go back to this, these are my accomplishments, right? And I want you to look at these things here real fast. You know, I was born in Denmark. I worked as a manager for 24-hour fitness for a couple of years. So I've been in a commercial gym. I was a VP of a huge supplement company, only for a little while because again, I really like running my own business. And I have a bachelor in international business. I'm a certified life coach. I've been that for, let's see, oh man, I'm old now. 18 years almost. Oh my goodness. I am a national certified personal trainer. I became an YFBM pro. I'm an author. I founded my own brand, is X365 Fitness. I models for some of the biggest fitness companies in the world. It was sponsored by Optimal Nutrition. It was a super cool experience. I won some fitness modeling, searched, and with bodybuilding.com, and I've been on TV. Look at all these things, right? These are all done through massive action for me, you know, and it all comes down to, did these things build my business? No, they didn't. So this is what's so interesting, right? You put these things on, you put so much emphasis on all these things. These things didn't build my business. My personal training business, my six-figure business was not built around these things because I've done these things. Yes, do they help validate who I am and where I'm at? Absolutely. Do they give me a platform? Absolutely. This is not what make me money. This is not what build my business, okay? So I spent 10 years on building all these accomplishments, doing all these things. This is basically from when I came to America and what I've done. If you look down the left corner, I actually won the Danish national championships in men's physique as well. And that's a super cool story, but I'll save that for another time on how I made that happen. But again, I want to emphasize with you guys how important it is, you know, when you listen to all these things and the things we're going to go over here is that it's really just all about mindset. It's about going out there and taking massive action. But what, you know, what most people lack, you know, is around intentional purpose behind their action. You know, it's structure, it's education, it's knowing what to do, knowing not to waste your time, right? Knowing not to waste your money, not wasting our efforts. Because I know in the fitness industry, why most people are actually in the fitness industry is because of pure passion. And how do you run a passion business? Because those two things are sometimes in conflict, right? Well, I want to run a business, but I also have passion. And what I want to teach you is you can actually do both, and you can have make a very lucrative living out of this. I know my situation today is better than I ever dreamt of. I mean, I can't even tell you how grateful I am for my life and everything I have. And really, what I have is lots of relationships. You know, yes, I've made six figures since day one. I was a independent personal trainer. I've never made less than six figures in all the time that I've worked in the fitness industry. And what's funny about that too, you look at all these competition pictures, right? All the people that I competed with, all the YFBM pros, all the big fitness models in the world, they don't make six figures. They're broke. Complete and utterly broke because there's no money in the fitness industry. You have to have a product, you have to have the service. So if you're building this kind of platform, yes, you do have to have a product and service with it. So enough about me. I'm too boring to listen to. I want to hear about you guys, you know. So I want to welcome a few more people that got on now. It's exciting to have you guys. I'm glad you guys are following along here. So what we really want to do with this webinar here is to make sure that you guys can be able to connect with your clients, right? You guys be able to make as much money as possible with the effort you put in there. Because what we all want, right, is to make sure that we don't just sell our time, but we optimize the money that we make per minute they're actually spent on working, and that creates freedom, right? I mean, what do you want for yourself? Like, what kind of life would you want? I'm not saying that we should make a life where we don't have to work, but I'm saying, how about if we can make life a little bit easier for ourselves so we have more capacity, so we can give more, so we can help more people, right? So we can help our family too, so we can help ourselves, so we can put ourselves into a position of just freedom. Because I know that that's what motivates me in life, is that me, in order for me to actually go out and perform, I need to have freedom. And I know you guys are probably the same, right? Again, I want to tell you this. Do you kids have the iPad right now? Is dog sent outside? You off Facebook? Do I have your attention yet? Awesome, good. Thank you for chatting with me a little bit. I love that. I love getting some chats too. Again, chat me up, send me some questions, somebody going through this. If you think I sound too boring, you know, just tell me, hey Nick, speed it up. I don't want to listen to you anymore. And I'll speed it up for you guys. If you want me to slow it down, I'll slow it down too. I know sometimes I talk really fast too. So anyway, give me some feedback in the chat function. I love listening to stuff like this right here. Okay, so why are we on this webinar? Well, for you guys who actually made it on time, in here I explained a little bit about this. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that you get to that six-figure income as a personal trainer or fitness professional in general, you know, with the least amount of time, money, and effort spent. Isn't that what we all want, right? You guys are actually extremely lucky, you know that? I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I spent 10 years trying to do, all the mistakes that I made on this. I mean, that's what I want to teach you guys. And here's a huge problem. Okay, it's on there if you read the screen right now, right? Did you know that 93% of personal trainers who go out there and actually get a certification, that they fail at it? Meaning the turnover rate in this industry is so ridiculously high. And you know who profits off that? The people who sell the certifications, right? They're actually setting people up for complete failure. So you're super lucky because you get to cheat today, okay? You get to cheat in a way that you guys get to not make the mistake that I made. And that is working smart and not hard. And something that I wish that I had done earlier in my career was to start listening to people. Honestly, I had way too big of an ego when I started in this industry. I'm like, I don't need anybody. I can do this all by myself, right? And so it took me 10 years, and it actually cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to learn the lessons that I've learned today and be able to create these shortcuts in the industry because I don't see anybody else out there doing this. I don't see anybody else out there sharing their secrets, but I can tell you that I've spent and sacrificed so many things in life and be able to be here. And like I said, I've wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I'm excited to share this with you guys. So we just talked about money, right? Who out there loves money? Okay, so if you said no and you're afraid of money, who out there loves freedom? Who loves the freedom that money comes with, right? I mean, that's one thing for me. If I was the one answering that question, I would say, well, money doesn't really motivate me, but freedom does. Because freedom for me creates this capacity for me to help more people, and that's really what I'm motivated by. I used to have this fear of money. When people say money, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's bad. No, it's not bad. Money can help you, okay? So let's say that you are, spending a lot of money right now working at a commercial gym. And why do I say you're spending a lot of money? Well, at a commercial gym, let's say you work for 24 Hour Fitness, or you work for Lifetime Fitness, or any other. Like I just had a girl come in who were interviewing for a position at my gym, and she's like, yeah, well, I'd love to work for you. I just don't know how if I can do it, because I don't know if I can make enough money. So I said, well, what's the problem? She said, well, I just interviewed with Anytime Fitness, and I'm like, so what's the problem with Anytime Fitness? Well, they said that they would take 60% of my session rate. I said, excuse me? Yeah, they would take 60% of my session rate. So I'm like, so they're taking 60%. I'm like, are they going to give you clients? No, I have to bring in my own clients. Okay, wait a minute. So they take 60% and you bring in your own clients. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, you can come here and we won't do that. So a lot of money is wasted. Again, I want to talk to you a little bit about the certification process as well, right? Who out there has been through a certification? You can just raise your hand behind your computer. I'll be good with that. I'll say that all of you have. That's fine. But the certifications, what did it teach you? How did it make you feel afterwards? Because I know how it made me feel. It made me feel completely powerless. I'm like, I need to go to work at a commercial gym right now. I need to go and work for someone who can show me how to do all this stuff and actually run a business, how to start, how to attract clients. Because I don't know how to do that. After I went through my NASM certification, what happened? Nothing. I knew how to do a squat assessment. I knew how the muscles worked, but I was already a massage therapist, so I already knew those things. That's why I took my certification in 3 weeks. But I was on point blank because they didn't help me how to build a business. They didn't teach me how to run a consultation. They didn't teach me how to connect with my clients so that I could help them re-sign. All those little things are things they did not teach me. So you're talking about why is it that, that 90 to 92% of all trainers fail? Well, that's because they're not making enough money. Do you know the average income from a personal trainer or a fitness professional or a group class trainer is $34,000 a year? I mean, how would that feel if you made that kind of money for living your passion? I know I could not do that. That's just not something that I want to be in. That's the same as a grocery backer at freaking Walmart. That's not okay. You're worth way more to people. You go in and impact people's lives, and there should be a way higher dollar sign on that. That's not okay, and we should not compete at that price. There's no reason for why you shouldn't be making 6 figures. Everybody in this industry would be making 6 figures. People are investing in themselves in this. So why do we have this problem, right? We don't want to waste any more money. The next thing is, if you're not getting paid when you need to, when you put in this much effort, then what is it worth? I can't tell you how many people I've been through, through my mentoring program that almost stopped being a personal trainer because they couldn't afford to be it. And that is so sad. So let's just try to build you guys up to a place where you can actually take care of your clients and you can make the money that you need so you have that freedom. Because another thing that's important, and I know this is important to me in life, and I don't know if this is important to you guys, but I know that time is one of the most important things to have, right? I mean, money replenishes. I mean, you always get money, but one thing we will never get back in life is time. So how would it feel if you guys had more time in your life? How would it feel if you guys were able to play more with your kids or go to the mountains more, go travel more while you were living your passion? How would that feel? Pretty cool, right? I know it's done that for me. When I'm at this point in my career, I mean, I am loving life because I have so much balance. I'm able to help people. So not wasting too much time in, researching all the wrong things and spending time on social media that's not benefiting you, or not knowing your niche or your ideal clientele. And all these things you do, what I encounter with people are just lost because there's no structure. They don't know where they're going. And that's really what I want to teach you guys. I mean, how exciting would it be to just sit down and execute on a plan that you guys had for your business, no one getting up every morning and just having a to-do list, and it was all power towards you, having that freedom that you wanted and be able to help as many people as possible. I mean, how would that feel? I feel amazing, right? I know that I feel amazing every single day when I wake up and before I go to bed because my ethic is correctly, I'm working structured, and I have so many people around me that are just freaking amazing. I build a clientele that I absolutely love because of these principles. So there's another, so these are the big two things, right? Our time and our money, and these are really the big things that are keeping us away from being able to, you know, make the money that we want to make and help the kind of people we want to make. There's the third thing here that I actually encounter a lot, and that is people not feeling adequate enough to be a trainer, right? It's like, well, you know, I shouldn't be a trainer. I shouldn't start helping people because I'm not an expert. Well, that's bull crap. That's really not okay, because a lot of things that you have to do as a trainer is you have to go in and help people on an emotional level. You have to be there for people, right? So stop putting yourself down and don't think you're good enough to not doing something. You are good enough. If you get a certification, you know, you'll learn some things in there, but I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've started being a personal trainer without a certification. What do you really need a certification for? Yeah, if you want to go work for a commercial gym, yes, there are some insurance reasons for why you would need to have a certification, but it's not a criteria for you starting out to be a coach at all. You can start helping people right now. You do not have to be an expert. You do not have to waste your time. You do not have to waste your money. All these things are just pure excuses for you not making it in life. And a lot of times we take those things on from other people, what society tells us, what our friends tells us. Like this lady today who was laughing at the promo that I ran at a personal trainer making 6 figures. She was working for Lifetime Fitness down in Texas. And she's like, yeah, right, 6 figures as a personal trainer. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you for real? Is that real? Are you really laughing at that? I'm like, I feel really sorry that you have that kind of belief system, that you don't value yourself enough to think that you can make 6 figures as a personal trainer. That is really, really sad. Okay, before we move on here, what if I showed you a way where you wouldn't waste your money and time and you didn't have to be an expert? Let's have some people. I want to have some interaction here. Type a yes into the chat if you want to hear more. Oh man, I'm loving this. All of you on fire. Love that. Okay, thank you. Then I will continue. I actually love putting this slide in here. And I love getting some interaction. Thank you, all of you who replied to this. Let's do this. Okay. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about some how-tos here. Okay. I want to start by adding a little bit of value for you guys and actually how to do these things, right? Let's start with the top one here. A question I get a lot is, I'm like, Nick, you know, I only have so much time. My schedule is very limiting. I don't know how I can up my hourly income anymore. Well, there's a one big thing, and that I know is that I close 95% of all consultations I get. Okay? Even if people can't afford me, I will always have something different that they will be able to suck into. So here's a big thing that you guys can do in your business right now. Okay? If you're a fitness professional right now or you're considering it, here's a huge thing that you can do. You ready for it? You can go in and you can create programs for everyone. And what does that mean? Okay, so for me, for example, when I run a consultation or I meet people, here's how I do it. I have my personal training one-on-one that I always present to people, right? I sit them down, I go through a consultation. I have a whole consultation built up that is very, very extensive, and it's in my e-course that I have. And I touch on it in the book as well on how to run a consultation. A consultation is really where you have to sit people down and really, it's an interview process with them. They don't interview you, you interview them, which means you sit down and you figure out, okay, why are people in front of you, right? What is it that they need? And your job is to present the how, but you don't present the how until you have the what and the why from people. So when you sit down and you interview people, if it's online, you know, through a chat function, or, you know, you meet somebody at a grocery store, or it's somebody who actually coming in to meet with you because they're interested in your things, you got to figure out what it is their need is, and then you create the how based around that. So when you create programs for everyone, meaning, so I get, you know, as somebody who is making $30,000 a year, who can't afford my $3,000 training package, right? That's what I'm charging now. Okay, well, you want to work with me, is $3,000 up front. Some people can't afford that, you know, and so what would that feel like? Nick, I really want to work with you. Okay, great. Well, you know what I have? I have my online training option. I have an app, and you'll be able to go in and you'll be able to work with me, you know, $150 a month. And then it's just reoccurring payments. You check in with me once a week, and I will create your meal plan, your workout plan. It won't be the same because you won't come in and see me, but at least I have that for you. Oh, I can't pay that monthly. I was just hoping for a one-time thing. Okay, well then let me do a one-time program for you. It's $99 a day, and I'll give you a meal plan and a workout plan, right? You see how that works? Okay, so there are different ways that people can work with you. I'm also starting now to create a group setting as well. So, okay, we'll have semi-private personal training. So every Monday and Wednesday and Friday at 7 o'clock, I have 4 people that will be working out together, which means that will cut your pricing down to 75% for how much you pay for the session rate. Is that something you'd be interested in? Okay, I don't know if you guys are listening to this, but what does this give? Option, 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 option. Don't let people get away. You should be able to, anybody that come in should be able to sign up with you. Especially people that contact you that are warm leads should always have something that you can funnel them into. And the more things you can create that are one-time programs, or the more things that can be created that are online training. I have some super cool functions for online training, so if any of you guys do decide to do the whole program here, I can teach you how to run an online training business that is very, very lucrative and is very, very easy to manage, okay? Very, very easy. So that is definitely something that will be coming with this as well. And I hope this one makes sense. Okay, number 2. Anybody who is in the real estate industry will understand the SOI. Anybody out there know what that means? I'll be waiting for the chat function. Okay, I'll just keep on then. Okay, SOI, sphere of influence. Okay, so when we talk about sphere of influence and awareness and implementation of that, what do you think that means? Your sphere of influence is basically what are your warm or lukewarm market you have around you. I had a girl who started working with me. I started mentoring her, and I've mentored her for a little while here. She would come in and she would it's like, Nick, I don't know what to do here. You know, I've spent hours and hours and hours, and I've completed all these tasks. I'm like, give me that task list right now. Let me see what it is you're working on. I want to see what's going on here. And so her whole task list was all social media based. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, well, you know, I'm building up my social media. I'm like, how many clients do you have? It's like 1. Like, okay, so you think that you should be spending your time on social media, right? But that's not where we start. We start in the people around you in our network. We start with your grandma, with your mom, with your dad, with your friends, with your teachers, with your coworkers if you're currently in a different position. We start there. We start with the people you can influence around you without having to spending a dime on it. You have to talk to these people. So being aware of who is around you. So for example, for me, when I started as a trainer, and I have one of my other people do this as well, a couple of my other people do this as well. I have an online Excel spreadsheet where I have people fill in all the people around them that they think might need training, okay? Because sometimes we limit ourselves and we don't really go in and put down all these people about, oh, no, I don't want to sell to this person. I don't think this person would be interested. I just have them put down all the names, and then we start exposure. You know, you go in and okay, Uncle Dave, right? I'm gonna ask him how he's doing. I'm gonna reach out to him. Hey, Dave, how you doing? You know, I know you have some health issues. I started as a personal trainer. Why don't you come in and I can teach you some things, and so on and so on. And you build that out. Same thing, you know, you go through email list, you go through everything. Basically, these things here are super simple, but this is what where people lose a lot of business, is because they're so afraid to go out and owning who they are as a trainer, as a fitness professional, because they think they're not experts. So they steer away from the easiest people to actually get to sign up, and the people who already trust you, which are your family, your friends, you know, your sphere of influence. And if you do have a social media platform already built, and it doesn't matter if there's 50 people on there, if there's 50,000, those people already have some kind of trust in you, which means there's a great market to market to, which means you don't have to go out and do ad campaigns yet. You don't have to go out and do a complete new website. That's not what this is all about. That's not where you start. Yes, that might be where you expand on your business, but if you haven't done your groundwork right now, I mean, how many of you out there can relate to some of these things that I'm saying right now? How many of you could think of 3 people right now you could be contacting that you haven't contacted yet that might sign up with you, just because you have a limiting belief about if they will sign up or not? Yeah, right? Okay, write down those 3 people, because you'll be contacting them tomorrow. That is how simple it is to make some more money and to get some more people in. And I know that I talk about simplicity, but there's resistance, right? We feel this resistance to actually stepping in and owning exactly who we are, but that is really the first step. I had another guy I started, he's almost 60 years old, and I started him and he became a personal trainer. He retired from his job at Wells Fargo, and he was so afraid to tell people that he was a personal trainer. I'm like, how? You retired for this, you believe in this, why are you so afraid to tell people around you that you are a personal trainer? He's like, I don't know. I said, when people come up to you at church, or people come up to you at the grocery store, people come up to you and said, what do you do? What do you say? Like, well, I work at Wells Fargo. I'm like, why? What do you do? He's like, well, my passion is personal training, and that's what I'll be doing. Then why is that not what you lead with? Why are you not telling people that you're a personal trainer? Why is not everybody the target audience for you? Why are you not reaching out to people? I mean, that's a great question, right? Because how would it feel that every time somebody came up to you and you had the confidence to tell them exactly what you did because you believe so much in yourself, your product, what you can do for them, that you will just talk to them? How many clients do you think that would give you? I know how many clients it's given me. It's made me 6 figures from day one. I came here to this country without knowing anybody. I came here to this country with no money. I came into this country not even educated in personal training. I educated myself. I talked to people around me. I built a network by talking to people, shoulder to shoulder, not over the internet. That comes, for sure. That is definitely not something I want to neglect. Social media is such a beautiful marketing tool if it's done correctly, but that's not where you start. And I bet that right now, each and every one of you could reach out to at least 3 people that would come in and they would meet with you, you could present it to. So confidence, confidence, confidence. Number 3 in here, so if you're already a personal trainer right now, or you're already a group instructor, or you already own a gym, whatever you are as a fitness professional, increase prizes by adding value. Now, what does this mean? Okay, come down to 2 things. I had a huge interview yesterday on a podcast with Fit to Fat to Fit, and it will be airing in November, so look out for that. It was an amazing interview. That's one of the things he mentioned. He's like, but Nick, you know, like what do you do? How do you charge $120 a session for 50 minutes? Like, what are the secrets behind that? And really, what's behind that is adding value. I don't know how much money you guys charge for a session out there, but that's my session rate now. And how did I get it up there? Well, it's mostly about value. Value, value, value. So what do I do on a Friday night? I listen to books. What do I do on a Tuesday morning on the way to gym? I listen to books. I educate myself. I fill my toolbox because the more money I charge people, the more value I want to give. I never, ever want to be able to be in a situation where I feel like I'm charging more than I'm giving. And I can check that out with my clients. Did you know that right now, my average lifespan of a client is 2 years? 2 years. I have clients I've had for over 8 years. I have 5 of my current clients I've had for over 5 years coming in 3 times a week. That is something that's unheard of. But why is that? That is because I keep adding value to my services. Where I started as a $58 a session trainer to now double that over the last 8 years. What have I done for that money? It's not just because I feel like I deserve it. I feel like I am absolutely have that value. I add that value to people because how can you put a price point on feeling better? How can you put a price point and have a higher quality of life? How can you put a price point on educating yourself and taking care of yourself? You can't, right? I mean, how would it feel if you knew everything about how to run a personal training business and how to make money? Wouldn't that feel amazing? Well, then add the value to your clients so they can take accountability for their own lives. And the more value you add, the less it's about the dollar. And when you increase your prices, they're not even going to ask about it. And the new people that come in that hear about you as well are going to be the same thing. Man, I heard so many great things about you. Here's my credit card. They're not even going to ask you how much you charge. If you get to a point in a consultation, for example, where you start battling on price, you've lost. You have to be able to present with confidence that exactly who you are, what you can offer to people. I have this value, so they won't even ask about the money. I hardly ever have to sell on the dollar, ever. And that is because there's so much value in what we do. And I know each and every one of you out there that are on there today, I know you hear this because that passion you have inside of you that you want to help people, right? What is that worth? A lot, right? If you've been through a transformation yourself, what is that worth to you? How did you feel before? How do you feel afterwards? Incredible, right? Okay, number 4 in here, passive income options. Okay, here's a little thing. It's called supplements. This is a very, very touchy subject for me. I know that you saw back here, right? The companies that I've been sponsored by. One of the things that I've been sponsored by is, for example, Option Nutrition. I've been sponsored by lots of different supplement companies out there. And one of the things that's hard for me is ethically to go in and actually recommend certain supplements. So I want to put that out there first. So if this is something you want to do, same thing with network marketing. It's something that's extremely dangerous, but if it's done right and it's done with ethics, this is a great model for you to make at least $1,000 to $2,000 extra a month, which is equates to about $15,000 to $20,000 extra a year, just by recommending the right things and having the right ethics behind it. Ethics, people. We need to make sure that people trust you. Okay, so all this stuff here, right? There's a lot of things that I've done. It all points back to people have to be able to trust me in everything I do, and knowing that I'm not setting them up for failure. So the passive income options, you know, at our gym, we have a great partnership with something called 1% Fitness, for example. where our trainers get a kickback when we sell meals. Same thing, we do that with supplements as well. Muscle ache. There's tons of different ways that we can add extra money of passive income. Same thing when we talked about before about not stop turning away business, right? Having one-time programs that you can sell as well. Passive income options could be a huge thing. So if you're making $34,000 a year, I don't know how that's even possible. I mean, if you have 10 people that want to work with you on a yearly basis, you should be making double that just with the passive income options. It should not even be doable to only make $34,000 a year doing this. I mean, treating this as a hobby, maybe, but if you treat this as a business, there's no way you are going to be able to make that. Then it's about committing people for extended periods of time, and this is a place where I see so many people, trainers especially, that are making a huge mistake in this. Okay, when I commit people to my programs, I tell them to expect a year. A year. How would you feel if you walked into to somebody and they say, well, my process will take a year? How would that make you feel? It depends on what it is, right? So if you build up the value enough to where you're like, okay, well, here are my results. Here are all the people that have been through, and these are the results, and you'll be able to keep the weight off. You'll feel amazing about yourself. You'll have self-love. Here are all these things, all these benefits, but the process is a year. That's what I see most of the time, that people, it takes to full change. And what I need from you is to be able to give me that amount of time. If you have them in that spot, you set up that expectation from the beginning, the re-signing process is so much easier. Now, if you go down, oh yeah, well, it's just month to month. Yeah, you know, you can just quit anytime you want to, right? Every week, you know, every 30 days, you'll be able to cancel. I'm only going to charge you monthly, you know, so don't even worry about it. You can get out anytime you want to. What do you think people are hearing? What do you think people are feeling? Yeah, they want to leave right away, right? Because you already give them an out. And that's not how you set things up. You set things up with extended periods of time. They have to be able to say, okay, well, I want to re-sign. It's the same thing when I sell anything. I don't really like the word sell because that's not really what I do. Anytime I do anything, it's just pure information about my services. Anytime I give information about my services that leads over into sales, let's put it like that instead, then that's where I keep them on for extended period of time. And when we talk about ethics, that is the only ethical way of doing it. And how does that make sense? Well, if you don't tell them what's realistic, because how many out of you there have clients right now that you're working with? Okay, awesome. So you know that it doesn't take 12 weeks or 8 weeks or 6 weeks or even 20 weeks for people to really fully change, right? It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're at a gym, again, if you're a CrossFit trainer, if you're a personal trainer or a gym owner, it doesn't just take that amount of time. It takes longer, right? I mean, for most people that I see, it takes that full year for that full transformation. So tell people the truth up front instead of trying to make a quick buck and a quick sell. I mean, how would it feel if you had people coming in signing up for a full year? You had 12 people coming in signing up for the full year up front with you instead of having 12 people coming in signing up for the month, so you have to go in and market again. I mean, how extensive, how would that feel, and how much energy would you spend on that? How much energy do you spend on marketing right now? How about stepping back into it and just actually servicing the people that are there, setting them up for success instead of setting them up for failure? Instead of building their limited mindset, help them with a growth mindset. Set the right expectations up front, right? I have more people when they sign up with me and they sign up for my 30 session pack, they're like, well, yeah, well, we'll just start with this and then we'll keep going, right? And I'm like, absolutely. And they say that themselves. And why is that? That's because I built the expectation correctly within the consultation. Again, you have to be able to be 100% confident in your product, in your services, and the value you provide to people in order for them to be confident in you. Or else they're just going to go in and they're going to be like, oh yeah, well, I'll sign up for this $99 a month thing, you know, and then, you know, they're not really going to commit to it and they're going to go away. I mean, how many times have you tried that? I make that mistake so many times. I'm not saying this because I'm perfect at this. I'm saying this because I've refined my business into a point where I'm at right now. And yes, that's taken time, but guess what? I had to do it that way. I had to learn this way, and you don't have to learn that way. You can do this from the beginning. So these 5 things right here, if you want to talk about what I promised in the beginning, right? If you do just one of these things, you'll be able to make that money up. These are super exciting things. They're just super easy things. And if you look at this thing right here, how much money would you have to spend to implement these 5 things in your business right now? Nothing, right? There's no dollar sign attached to these things. And how do you think it would increase your business? How excited would you feel if you just one of these things actually worked? Wouldn't that be exciting? Wouldn't you just feel on top of the world and confident about things? That's what I see every day with my people that I teach these things. So let's talk a little bit about what it is that I have here, now that I got your attention. This e-course here that I have, that's part of this program, is something that's super cool. So I don't know if you guys, any of you have been following the social media. If you can press yes in the chat function right now, that'd be awesome. So I know kind of like who's been following, who hasn't been following me, so I know how much to talk about. You guys go in there and type a little answer, yes or no, if you follow me on social media for the last couple of years. Awesome. Okay, so we got a little bit of a mix out there. I like that. Okay, so if you look at a background, then I've done motivational seminars for years now. Last 5 years, I've done motivational seminars, and I've spent so much time in refining my message and what it really looked like. Again, and that's why it took me 5 years to finish and complete the book. Okay, so I've recorded these videos here and just condensed down my really a three-day seminar down to just a couple of hours. Which is about 4 hours, and as you can see in here, the build up and everything, all my models, my entire freaking process is in here. Everything that I worked so hard for is what I'm sharing in here. So it will just teach you the basics of the business and how to grow it, how to run a consultation, how to connect with your clients, and just a lot of models that you can use with people. The proper goal setting, which is super important, is knowing how to get people to take accountability for their own goals and so on. So this will just, you won't waste any more time or money while you grow your business if you just do this correctly. Basically, what I've come up with here is everything that the certification doesn't teach you. The certification that I just slammed on, right? Like I wanted to teach you everything that they don't teach you. So that's what this is all about. So if you have a NASA certification, not adding this to it would not be very smart. But it would be very smart to add this to it because you'll be able to make that money. You'll be able to add so much more value to your sessions. So let's go over to the next thing I have, which is the workbook. Now, I made this myself, ladies and gentlemen, and I am very proud of it. And it was not fun to make because it took a long time. But actually looking through it now, I'm super excited I did it. Because this here, the feedback I've gotten from the people who've been through it before, without this and with it, is a huge difference. This is a workbook that you also get with this. So as you go along with your learning here, you'll have a workbook, and this is a 25-page workbook to help you implement all these things. And there'll be videos as well as you go along. Another thing you'll get to in here is are all my downloads. So these template files are things that I built over the years. Okay, so these are just lots of great things, and things from the session log and liability waivers and personal training sessions. Like there's so many different things in here that you need in order for you to either implement into your business to make sure that you are on point, or to start your business. Next thing you'll get in here too are training videos. Their download files to be able to watch the video on how to actually implement these things here. It's a huge value. I'm so excited about this one. I really wish there's something that I had when I started. I mean, imagine you guys just opening these things up, and these things pop out, and you'll be able to learn from the beginning. Another thing you'll get is email support. One of the things that I see a lot is that people fail because they don't, they go in and they either buy something or they don't have the support that's needed. Well, this right here, 30 days, you get access to me. Ask me any questions. The roadmap, Hip Success and Personal Trainer, which everybody who stays until the end, remember that, you're going to be able to get this book for absolutely free. We'll send it to you tonight. And we already have your emails because you registered. You'll get this book, so much information. It's awesome. So what is the value of all of this, right? Well, $3,000 is the e-course value. It's worth way more because I've spent way more money. But at least a $3,000 value for that. E-course workbook is a $500 value. Rebrandable downloads here, which means you can go in and put your own logo on these things. $500, $2,000 for the training videos, $1,000 for the email support, $47 for the training book, $7,000 value for all of this. Now, I'm not gonna charge that amount today, but for the first 10 first people, and since you guys are on here today to sign up, I'm going to throw in a 1-hour consultation over the phone or to Skype with me. I don't have a lot of time to be able to sit down and talk to all of you guys. There's a lot of people on today. It's really exciting to see. But the 10 first people that sign up, I'll give you 1 hour on the phone or on Skype with me and go over your business. I will help you. I will assess things, and we'll get you started on a really good path. So those are all great things. So what if you if you had all this free time in here, right, and you had this much more knowledge, you can increase your value for your clients. And that's really what it's all about. Like we talked about at the beginning, it's all about the value that you have to do. You know, how would it feel if you could ask 3 to 4 new clients per week, or you could just add 10% more to your yearly income? I mean, these are just, they're so powerful messages that are in here. Here's really what it all comes down to. Okay, this is an $8,047 value pack. It's a lot. It's things that I spend a lot of time building in here. You know, and $8,000 is a lot of money. I know that, but think about it. If you just added 10% right now to your yearly income, how much more would that be? Would you make that up? What if you got 2 new clients per month who sign up for your big training packages? Over 12 months, that's 24 new clients. Would that be worth it? What if you got to keep 2 clients who otherwise would have gone to another trainer, another program every single month? Would that be worth it? What if you got tools where you could add value to your sessions? Would that be worth it? What if I gave you some tools that would restructure your business just for tax reasons, where you can go in and do some simple things, no effort needed, and you'll make 10% more? Okay, instead of Uncle Sam, will go in your pocket. How about if I taught you how to close 90% of your consultations? Any of those things, would that be worth $8,000? I know it would be to me, for sure. I know what I sell my packages for, and that would just be 1 month. It would be worth it to me for the $8,000. But I'm not going to charge you that today. For my e-course, for my book, for everything you saw in there, all the things you're getting in this stack right here, the workbook, the downloads, the 1 hour with me, the 30-day email support, and my ebook, which I'm giving away free, so you can deduct those $47, and the whole e-course that I spent a decade trying to figure out. We're only going to charge $997 today, just $997. I mean, when you go from the $8,000 to $997, it's so much value in this. And I'm only doing this for the first 10 people and adding that 1 hour in with you guys. So if you guys are interested in these things, and when you do sign up with me, you know, we'll get that first hour and we'll get it scheduled right away. YourFitnessMentor.com/special. Here in a minute, we're going to do an FAQ, so stay on the line. I will give you my book as well. We'll hear from Ron. Just keep with me here for a second so I can get you guys to the end and we can do that FAQ. I know you guys have a lot of questions. But again, YourFitnessMentor.com special. One thing that we do have, we started working with PayPal. PayPal has been kind enough to go in and do no payments and no interest paid in full within 6 months. So if you go in and set up a PayPal account, you can get free credit there, instantly proven for you. If you need instruction how to do that, just email us through here, yourfitnessmentor@gmail.com. We'll help you with that process if you don't know how to do it, but it's a great way because it's basically investing, right? So let's say it's $997, you go in and get the instant credit. Well, with the first person you sign up, you're going to make that money back and you're paid back, which means there's no interest. That's even better than borrowing from mom or your dad or your neighbor, or taking out your own savings, right? Okay, while you're in there looking at all these things here, we're going to bring Ron over. And he's going to talk a little bit more about, you know, his experience with all these things and how he got introduced into the business. Again, you guys are welcome to now start using the chat function as well. So if you guys want to start asking some questions about, you know, the e-course, the book, you guys have any other questions about the whole process or anything about training, really, about business, I'm here for you. I'll answer any question you might have, and we'll take them. But while you guys are thinking about that, you're going in and researching PayPal, you're going into to yourfitnessmentor.com special. Let's hear from Ron here. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, so like a lot of people online, I have a passion for helping people through fitness and health and nutrition, and you know, that was something that I really got interested in, you know, probably about 5-6 years ago, and that really started off with everything.
Okay. So you just made a transition, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
So actually for the last 8 years, I got heavily involved with corporate America. Got really into managerial leadership and was really just climbing that traditional ladder. Eventually got into management with a couple big companies and got established there. Very comfortable. It was a very comfortable lifestyle. You know, guaranteed money. When it came to my career direction, it was pretty much set. I knew what I was getting into and where that was going to take me. I knew what I would be making, you know, in a year. I knew I'd be making in probably 10 years, and so it was pretty much set, and there was some security in that. But when we're talking about my transition, it really started about a year ago when I started working with you, and we started talking about a lot of the material that you're covering in this webinar. It made me started asking myself some questions about whether or not I was really doing what I wanted to do and wanted to be doing what I was doing for the rest of my life.
That's awesome, man. So how's it been feeling for you to make this switch?
It's man, Nick, it's been really incredible. The experience, and it's really interesting too. I mean, I've been in business, running my own business for the last few months now, and full time, and I'm experiencing, as corny as it may sound, some new sensations that I haven't felt and probably at any point in my professional life. When we're talking about working for the weekend, that's not something that I would describe any day of my life right now. I look forward to Mondays. When people ask me about my weekend plans, I really haven't even given much thought about it because I'm enjoying so much what I'm doing, just because we've been able to merge, passion with profession.
So how do you feel like the things that I've taught you have helped you? Like I talk about three big things, right? Talk about not wasting time, not wasting money, talk about not having to be an expert. Like if you take those three big things into account, like the things that I've taught you, like how do you see that?
Oh man, very much applicable to me. That's almost my story on a dime. When I left my original career path and my job, I was walking into no real following, really no client base, just went 100% in and really started from ground zero. And so when we're talking about one, building a foundation, two, getting credibility there and establishing yourself as a credible source, as someone that people would look at and know that you could help them. When we're talking about all those things, it was instrumental in helping me be successful.
That's awesome. So how does it feel now? How are you feeling right now?
Confident.
You just told me here a couple seconds ago that right before you came on here that you are working from 10 to 7 tomorrow. Yeah,
and that's the crazy part is month over month over month, just seeing my schedule just really start filling up and working these long hours that I'm more than happy to work because I'm doing what I love doing. But it's been really incredible to see.
So you really took a leap of faith, right? I really appreciate that for you trusting in me. Was it worth it for you?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's awesome because this is something that Ron will be able to do for the rest of his life, right? And here's the big thing, right? You talk about well, I have a good career right now, but what I talked about earlier? Well, one thing you can't never get back in life is time, right? I mean, how much time did you spend every day driving to Provo?
Oh my gosh, what, 35, 40 minutes?
Okay, how much
one way.
How much do you make a year?
So it started, $85,000 last year.
Okay, so you made $85,000 a year, and your commute was an hour and a half plus everything you had to work. So one thing that Ron will never be able to get back is all those hours spent on the freeway.
Not
right?
a minute, not a minute.
And so going in and being able to make that from day one and just have to drive down the streets of the gym and live the passion, how does that feel?
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming sometimes to think about it.
I see you tearing up a little bit right now. How would you guys feel?
I got something in my eye.
How would you guys feel if that was you, right? You can go in and just replace your $90,000 corporate job with working a third of the time and actually going and replacing that income within a couple of months. How would that feel? Like Ron right here, he's almost tearing up because there's so much passion. I mean, I love it. I love seeing this. I see you every day. I see you evolving. I see you just taking the things that I give you and just run with them. And it's beautiful to see. This is somebody who's made that decision, stepped into it, and being 100% confident about it, and really not, being able to go just not feeling like you're not worth it, right? Because so many people, they just don't feel like they could do it. They don't trust themselves to be able to do it. So the fact that you took that leap of faith, jumped into this, and actually doing this, and I see the people that you work with, and I hear the feedback, and it's beautiful to hear how many lives you're changing. I mean, how does it feel to change somebody's life?
It's nice knowing that I'm making an impact.
Right?
Really
and then how does it feel to get paid for it at the same time?
It's even better knowing that, again, the passion, that when the passion fits the profession, it's harmonious.
I know. So a lot of these principles, like I said, that I've implemented with Ron, all of them, and even more, will be in this e-course. So again, it's the $997. Going to yourfitbizmentor.com. And especially, I just got a question here from Roger. Thank you, Roger. Roger's asking, how do you get about charging close friends and family? Do you suggest offering free services? And it's funny because this is one of the things actually we know with Ron in the beginning as well. let me throw that question back to you for a second here, Roger. If you want to get in with the chat for a second here, like, how do you value services that are free? How do you value services that are free? And you can chat that back to me. And all of you can kind of think about this. Okay, how do we value things that are free? For me, not very high. I don't value things very high that I get for free. Would I value something that I paid $3,000 for? Damn straight, I would, right? So when we talk about close friends and families, I'm not saying you can't give a discount. I'm not even saying you can't do it for free, but there has to be something in it for them. So Roger, if your friends and family want to get in and they want to work with you, there has to be a price point to it. You have to be taken serious as a professional. Again, doesn't mean you have to charge full price. You can't give them something. Something I've done in the past with people is saying, okay, well, if you want to come in and do this, you can't afford it, right? And there's their friends and family again. I'll say, okay, well, what I want from you then is I need to have some before and after so I can use you for social media or whatever. And people are normally, yes, or I need you to write me a testimonial. Yes, I need you to be able to, go through this process. And if you jump out, if you don't complete all 16 sessions or 30 sessions, you're going to pay me for them. Yes, okay, well then there's a buy-in. So it's not so much for you, Roger. It's not so much, how is this for you? But this is more, like how it's more for them, right? Because we need some kind of commitment. So there's not much value, right, unless we do that. So thank you for the reason why I was jumping a little bit, because I got a couple of people writing back here. Yeah, you don't put a lot of value on it, right? And then if there's no commitment necessary, thank you, Renee, that like you were saying too, right? Then we don't really commit ourselves to it. There has to be some skin in the game for us in order for us to commit to things. So we got to figure out what that is. If that's a monetary, or they will, be paying you back in case that they don't complete the program. I have another coach under me who just signed up like 6 people from her family, and it's the most frustrating things ever because they walk all over her because she didn't send up the expectations correctly. And so those are some of the things we got to think about, is that when we start selling things to our friends and family and start giving things away, basically, we got to start thinking about how they're going to treat us. This is one of the reasons why, that a lot of people come train us. Oh, I'm so sick of giving free advice. People never follow it, right? So you start putting a price tag on it, people will follow your advice. Keep the questions coming. Roger, was that enough answer to your question, or do you want me to go more in depth? Just write your answer in here in the question sections for sure, and we'll take that. Ron, what are some things that you're excited about the future for within the personal training occupation?
On top of the growth, it's been really awesome, just because, especially with this month, with how much clientele is starting to come through, the consistency and bringing on new clients, as well as retaining those that have signed up still, being able to develop and continue to improve upon my business model. More specifically, the value that I'm giving to my clients and what I'm offering to them is really what I'm looking forward to, and that's just, again, a testament to really the speed of the growth. Is I'm having to adapt my business model to accommodate that, to make sure that the value is not going down.
Okay, well, that's awesome. I want to go back a little bit to make sure that you guys understand this. You get the book. You also get this amazing e-course. Again, it's video after video after video. Every person who's been through this, they're like, man, if I knew this value, I would have paid you 10 times the amount of this, because this is the value that it has for being implemented into my business, okay? So there's so much that we can do with this, and there's so much value in this. You'll be able to go out today. And so the $997 is really a steal for you for all this valuable information. If we go back up here again, as you can see, the total value thing, the 30-day email supporter, you get to talk to me. You get to get 1 hour free with me if you're one of the 10 people. We already have a couple of people sign up, so if you want to make it in before, make sure you do that. You get the training videos on the downloads that you can make as well, so each and everything will have that with them. You get that e-course workbook with the e-course, so as you're going through all these things, you will be able to fill out the e-book. Let's see if we got some more questions. Okay, we got another question here. All right, so if you don't know much about nutrition and you want to start giving nutritional advice, it is important for sure for you to be able to educate yourself on nutrition and being able to give them a meal plan. But a lot of that can be done going in and researching things about macros, for example. Like, start following influences when it comes to those things, because it's hard to find things that are specific about nutrition. But nutrition is a huge part of being a personal trainer, right? Or a fitness professional in general, because that's where a lot of the results come from. But again, those things are tools. So if you're looking for, the perfect way to work out and the perfect way to do a meal plan, it doesn't exist, because it all starts with a mindset. So a lot of things that we're gonna figure out here in this e-course and everything that we're working on is really gonna be with people's mindset. Okay. So those are a lot of things, and a lot of things you will see in here in the e-course is that I will teach you how to connect with your clients, how to get them to re-sign, how to get them to commit to the process. And it's super exciting. And how has it been for you to take part of that emotional journey with your clients?
It's actually been a game changer. It takes personal training to a really deeper level, much deeper level.
Okay. So how do you see people respond to it when you first start talking to them about their feelings and emotions?
They start breaking down. I've had consults and check-ins where the entire time they're just pouring their heart out, and it really hits home when you're able to get the real reason why they're wanting to change themselves through health and fitness, and when they recognize what the emotion is to that, not only is it more impactful, but you're also, at least from what I've experienced so far, the results are better because they're committed to it.
Okay, well that's awesome. Well, how about you guys? Are you guys committed? Is this something you guys want to do? Well, we're getting a couple of sign-ups right now. It's super exciting. We are almost full with the 10 people. So if you want to get in on that deal, I'm making sure you get in a full hour with me where I'll go over your business and stuff. Make sure that you come in and you actually sign up and do it as fast as possible. We'll stay on here for another couple of minutes here and do some FAQ here. And so if you guys have some questions out there that's really burning, then make sure that you ask them right now. Again, it could be anything. If you guys want to know about workouts, nutrition, anything when it comes to emotional approach, books that you should be reading. I don't know if you guys read books, but I know I do. There's some great ones out there, knowing more about how to be a coach, how to be a personal trainer. The book that I have is really cool too. Again, when you stay to the end all the way, we'll make sure that we give you that free book, copy of my book here. So anyway, if you are on the verge right now, if you should or not, just start thinking about it. What's one thing that you can't get back? That's your time, right? Money comes back. So the money you spend right now, it will always come back to you. And look at this as an investment. This is just an investment into yourself, just like anything else. So just make sure that you go in and do that. You know what? I'm nothing special. That's one thing you gotta recognize, is that I am nothing special. I'm not smarter than the average Joe. I'm nothing special at all. But what's really cool is that I've learned some things in this world on how to do things, and that's what I'm presenting to you guys. Anybody could do this. You don't have to be anything special in order for you to create success in your business. There are just certain things that you can take right now and implement that you can make those 6 figures. You don't have to be special to do that. You don't have to be that expert. Okay, you can go out now. If you have a passion, you have a good heart, you're committed to this process, you do it. You know what? The people that shouldn't sign up for this are the people who are ready to work. Okay, I want to be honest with you guys out there. If you're not willing to do the work, don't sign up for this. It's not for the people who are passive, but I know the people who lock onto stuff like this, all of you out there, I know that you guys are action people, massive action people, right? Yeah, I'm a massive action person too, and I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I am the most driven that I can be, and I will keep on doing that. Okay, Renee, we got a thing in here about book recommendations. So Renee, and I don't know especially in what area you're looking for a book recommendation, but I can tell you that that one thing that is excellent to read for anybody is a book called The Big Leap. The Big Leap has some excellent concepts that he presents in there about time management, about internal processing, about way to see the world. Ron, you read it, right?
Yep.
What do you think about it?
It was really, really good. I use the content daily. So.
What was your takeaway from it?
Really just getting into the right mindset and being able to be self-aware with yourself. I think the content in The Big Leap really allows you to recognize the environment that you work best in and staying in that environment.
Okay, I like that a lot. So that's definitely one of the book, and I just chatted out to all of you guys what it's called. They called The Big Leap. It's something that really opened up the eyes for me. So if you want to talk more about some like habits, for example, there's called the little book of Big Changes is an excellent one as well, and how to go in and look at habits, because really that's what being a personal trainer is all about, right? It's going in and changing people's life through their habits. the tools, the workouts, everything else, yes, it's awesome to know how to do a diet plan and workout plan, but if we don't know how to connect people to their habits and being able to help them and implement tools and how to actually do a sustainable change in their life, they're not going to stay around. You're not going to be able to be that trainer that everybody recommends. So going in and getting a lot of knowledge about people's habits and their behaviors is extremely important. So those kind of books, like the little book on Big Change, is an excellent book to read. So those two are a great starting point. A Man's Search for Meaning is an awesome book too, and a lot of that is just paradigm shifts, right? Like you guys are probably having a paradigm shift right now. You're getting excited about things, right? I know I was when I started reading books and I started listening to podcasts and different things, and so that is something that is huge, is to keep educating yourself. So books aimed at personal trainers especially. Thank you, Renee. Well, that is actually a really, really good question. Well, I have a book that you're gonna get, so that's an awesome one. And the honest thing is that there's really not a lot of them out there. You know, you go into to Amazon and you look at the books in there. There's really not a lot of people in there. A lot of books about personal training specifically, but there's lots of nutritional books. Eat for Your Blood Type is a great one to use. The Alkalizing Diet is a great one to use if you want to talk about nutrition side of things. On training, you know, then you have to be a little bit more specific exactly what kind of training that you want to do. But the personal training era is not very big, so I would actually recommend the book that I'm going to send you to read that over, because that is really a good one to be able to read to understand the personal training occupation. So I hope that helped, Renee. If you guys have any more questions at all out there, but I really appreciate you guys spending time in here with us. I thank you, Ron, for being able to log on here and share your story with us. Of course. I hope my message came through to you guys about what being a personal trainer is really all about. I hope you guys, the 5 takeaways that I have for you guys in here, you guys got to see all that. You can see the value in it. You're welcome, Renee. That you guys can see the value in just implementing those 5 things that will cost you nothing, how that can increase your business. I know that if you choose to trust these things and you choose to trust me, and if you choose to take the commitment here and invest in yourself and actually sign up for the $9.97 and get $7,000 worth of value, if you actually do that, I know you will never regret it, ever. I will actually guarantee you 30-day money back guarantee today. If you go in and sign up right now, within the next 10 minutes, I will promise you a 30-day money back guarantee if you're not satisfied with what you get. I mean, you can't get that anywhere else, okay? That is how confident I am in my own product and how much value this holds and what kind of impact I'll be able to do in your business, okay? So this is basically, you know, risk-free for you guys to go and invest in this and take a look at this. I'll give you 30-day money-back guarantee. So with that in mind, run to PayPal credit if you don't have the money. Pull out your credit card, get that debit card going and invest in yourself right now, because I promise you it's going to be worth it. We are going to keep doing these webinars here, so if you know of people who wants to come in and hear this message, if you want to come back in and ask more questions, we'll be sending out emails. Same thing thank you for everybody who stayed on here until the end. You will be getting that book as well. We will be doing this on Thursday nights. There's a big interview coming out. Again, Fit to Fat to Fit podcast. Go in and follow Drew Manning and his podcast. Make sure you listen to that. It will come out here mid-November. We will listen to a lot more in-depth things as well. I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate everything that you've done for me over the years when it comes to social media and support. I know a lot of you guys personally who are actually on here as well. So I appreciate all of it. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to take offline, you're more than welcome to that. Again, yourfitbizmentor@gmail.com if you have questions about the PayPal credit instructions, or else you go to yourfitbizmentor.com, the special section's right there. You can sign up for the $9.97. I am stoked to work with all of you guys who actually signed up for this. I am stoked to see development. I'm stoked to see the amount of money you're going to be making, to the kind of impact you're going to be creating in people's lives. It's going to be out of this world exciting. We're going to be able to change the world of personal training all through these principles that we're going to be teaching in this webinar. It's unreal. You'll see X365 Fitness be coming through the roof the next couple of years with these kind of principles too. All the trainers that are going to be going through this, we're going to change the world. So how about you guys sign up and go change the world with me? Like I said, 30-day money back guarantee if you sign up within the next 10 minutes. I appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much for logging on and talking here tonight. Again, send me an email. You got my email right here if you guys have any questions. We're going to log off right now. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much. Have a good night.